Hello everybody, welcome back again to Learn in Lockdown with me, Matt. Today we're going to have a look at the major scale and put our theory into practice, our theory of notes into practice by looking at a tune, Pink Floyd tune, Wish You Were Here, and how that works with, because it's in a major scale, and how it works in theory. So, quick recap. We have 12 notes. In music, they are A through to G, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You go back to A again when you're done. All of those letters have sharps, other than B and E. So there's two exceptions there, and that gives you 12, because there's 7 notes, all with sharps bar 2. So we have A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and A. Okay, so on the fretboard, remembering we're starting with our lowest string, on there, our lowest string is an E. How this works, to play the right notes to get what sounds good, if you like, to get the right sound, make it sound correct for a major scale. We'll have a look at minor scales and other stuff, and chords and things another time, but we're going to concentrate on notes to begin with the major scale. So, here we go, starting on the E string. We're going to use G major for this particular song, and actually, the reason I chose it is because G major has a very special place on a guitar. It's a really cool chord. I've always loved the chord, but because our lowest string is an E, and a lot of things are played in E on the guitar, they are, I guess, brothers in arms, if you like, E and G. It all will become clearer when we get onto minor scales, but E minor and G major are very, very good friends. So let's have a look at when we're playing in major, to begin with, start in major. Because I guess the theory is, you'll hear a major scale and you think, on the last note, you think, I know that it's trying to push back to that, to resolve that cadence, they call it, back onto the root note, which is the main note of the scale, G. And it's enlodged in our brains. We've been brought up since being really, really little, and all of us have heard nursery rhymes and music, and the massive bulk of should be from infancy would be a major scale. So it just sounds normal to us, and it kind of just clicks. So starting on G, which hopefully you've guessed it, starting on an E string, E open, F sharp, G is the 3rd fret, to find that one. So, how does a major scale work? In a scale, there are 7 notes, not 12, because that would be all of them. You take a few out, and it creates happy in a major scale, maybe, I guess, sad, or more of a melodic kind of sound in the minor scale. But for major, we're going to start on G. Now there is a pattern to create a major scale. There's a rule of thumb, and it goes like this. It's something that actually you can just memorize. For me, I don't know, maybe you won't think the same thing, but for me it's a cool little tune. So it goes like this: tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And you can do that over and over. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And that creates that's how I remember it. Always making songs. So to create a major scale, we use this tone and semitone. So a tone is 2 frets, because there's usually, there can be a sharp in between. So if we're going from G, we have G sharp is the next one, and then A. So that, jumping from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret, jumping over G sharp, is a tone. If we were to go just 1 fret, there's a semitone. So a scale, let's start with G, starting on the 3rd fret, and we'll just count these. So tone will be 2 frets. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Can you hear that if I play that quicker? And that is a major scale. So there are easier ways to play this. You don't want to play it all on one string. There's a lot of movement there. We've got other strings to use for this. I wouldn't say rule of thumb. You can break this when you get faster, and if you want to get into rock and fast solos and stuff. But generally, it's nice and easy to play 3 notes per string. So we're going to start on G on the 3rd fret. Make sure you can see that in the camera there. And then we're going to do a tone. I'm going to use my middle finger for this tone. It's a bit of a stretch if you're not used to it. And then I'm going to, because I want to use my little finger on the 7th fret. So we've got tone, tone. Then we're going to do a semitone, aren't we? So that's our first 3. To find the next note on the next string down, we're going to use our maths again with what we learned before. That the next higher string is 5 frets higher. So we can take these fret numbers and subtract 5, and that's what they are on the next higher string. So 3, 5, 7, G, A, there we go, and B. And then we've got the next one is tone, tone, semitone. So that's our next note. Subtract 5 from 8, yeah, and you get 3. So that's the same note. You can hear it's the same. So 3, do it that way. It's very awkward to hold this guitar in this lens here. 3, tone, 5, tone, 7, semitone, 3, tone, tone, tone. We're not going to play this on this string, but that's how you find it. So we've got 3, 5, 7. So actually it makes the same pattern on the 2 lowest strings. 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, tone. So 9 minus 5 is 4. So 4 on the next high string is the same note. So tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, so there's your major scale. So we can play any of these notes. So it's nice and easy to remember 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 4, 5. We're not going to play the 4. It sounds as though it wants to resolve. So now I've played that scale over and over. If I play the 4, the one before going back to G, an octave higher, is that annoying? Because you want it to go. Okay, so that's why we're not going to play that note too much, because it sounds as though it wants to resolve itself back on G again, and if you don't, it can be quite a frustrating kind of feeling. Maybe that's what you want. That's cool. So we're going to play. So if we play any of those notes then. You're playing the major scale, you're playing G major scale. Right, the song I want to show you that this can work with is Wish You Were Here. So it starts on G. And you remember that first bit. 3, 5, 7, 5, 7. Okay. Used an open E in there. So if we're learning this in the theory of it, I'm going to show you this quickly. So that's your root, because it's in G major, so that's your G. We're going to play 5, 7, 5, 7 on the next string. Five on the next highest string, because we know that's a G, that's the one we finished on. I like to resolve this here. And back down again. And I did a little taradiddle at the end. That's that. 5, 7, 5, open, G. Now I have to admit it's not played there in the actual song. Again, figuring out your frets, if you minus 5 from all of that, it's actually played down here. So 5, 7 becomes on the next highest string, so the lowest string, you've got 5 and 7 is where we started. If we are minus 5 from this position altogether, you get open and 2. But what I wanted to show you there was the theory behind it all. And if you play all of those open notes there, so what we're playing there, so open on the A string, the second lowest one, 2, open on the fourth string, and then 2. Open on the next high string on the third string. And we're playing all of that with my ring finger and my pinky on the 2 highest strings on fret 3, because that, if you remember, is a G major chord, wasn't it? From the chords that we did. Okay, there you go. So that is the major scale. Remember, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. We'll revisit some more of this, don't worry, in our next video. We'll do another one. Just hit that home. But keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.